Hello again, Playforever fans. I really love this brand. They're professionally designed toddler toy cars. I enjoy their simplicity. In a world where everything is so complex, it's just nice to see something simple, but more importantly, finished to a high quality. I find that the more realistic something is supposed to be, the more defects that there are, because it's simply not easy to shrink something down into a small scale model. Unless it's like a model kit, then you can only blame yourself if it turns out bad. But finished toys, yeah, I find that the smaller you go, the more challenges humanity faces. Is this a real world problem? Not at all. My entire channel is kind of a waste of time. It's a hobby. It's a waste of money and time. But that's what hobbies are. They're supposed to be fun and vacuums of cash. Work is not so fun, but you make money. That's just random rambling. So anyways, the Speedy line here, it says it's reminiscent of cars of 1930s Le Mans endurance racing. But if I look up 1930s Le Mans, we're talking the old, body on frame with the torn off fenders in many cases, except for this. This is actually fared in. I don't know if that's a unibody or not, but we're talking before World War One, right? 1930s. I guess later on World War One occurred. So correct my history if I'm wrong. So I kind of feel like maybe this description is not the greatest. I've noticed this with the Clyde I reviewed. Wait. Here we go. We got the 37 Bugatti. Possibly. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling more 1950s. Jaguars. Stuff like this. But we'll have to see, right? That's kind of like more what I'm seeing there. Not so important anyways. A toddler, a little child would never know. But as an adult, I'm just collecting these toys because I think they're designed really cool. They're reminiscent and give cues of famous cars in the past. But literally, this thing is meant for people with that are 1 year old. So, if you add several decades to that, that would be me. I have the mentality of a 1-year-old. Anyway, so this one is, I bought this from a Chinese reseller, so that's why I think it has this sticker with all this Chinese text. And then there's a blurb about the brand here. So yeah, cool. Unfortunately, I can't tell if this is brand new or not. I wish they had like a seal on there, some sort of tape saying, whether it's been opened or not. Alright, so I really like the packaging because it's just a cardboard box. You can throw it out, not feel guilty. And it's smart. They use this foam, which doesn't scratch the paint. It's very minimal, and that can actually be used if I sell something on eBay and use it for shipping something else. Alright, so this is kind of a crazy colorway, but I didn't like the other colorways that are currently available. If you look on eBay, though, there is an all-silver one that I think looks really cool. It looks like an old Porsche, maybe, or an old, some old German car. The website would tell you the dimensions and the weights and all that stuff, but I'm not that smart. I wasn't thinking that through. So this is probably 16 centimeters or so, if I had to guess. Yeah, lengthwise maybe, maybe 17 centimeters or a little under 7 inches. And it's going to be heavy. Actually, this one doesn't feel as heavy as some of the other ones for its apparent size. This one is 285 grams. I know you're not going to see that, but there you go. So that weight is important for a toy like this because it will roll further, and it also just feels smoother the heavier it is. There's no suspension on these things. Being for a 1-year-old child, it doesn't need to be too complex. It just needs to roll really well. And what's impressive is these are rubber tires. They're not plastic. They're not plastic wheels like Hot Wheels. So for something with a lot of friction, this thing rolls very, very smooth. So if you really like rolling stuff on your desk or whatnot, or your coffee table, this brand has really got you covered. And of course, if you have a little kid and you're willing to throw away money and have that kid scratch something so beautiful up, you can. Alright, so looking at the bottom, you see this raw yellow plastic. This is all made of ABS, but it's really thick and durable, so it seems strong enough, being CE approved for durability for children. And a child could bite on this and chew on it and not die from poisoning. It's interesting, the middle part is glossy. I think they may have spray painted that after they printed this on. Oh, maybe not. I kind of feel that. So I feel like this silver is tampo printed on top. Anyways, what's weird is there's no screws holding this one together. The other Verves I have, they are screwed together. Maybe it's probably under this, but I don't think their intention is for you to take apart their toys, especially little kids choking on little bits. Alright, what I like is it tells you it's part of the... Oh, wait a sec. This is called the Mini series. Nowadays they're called Verve, I think. So Verve and Mini are the same size. They're the smallest waves of toys that these guys put out. And apparently this colorway is called Boy. And then that's where they're located. And what's really cool is when it was made. So 2021. Now you can see it's got the treads, old basic treads here, and the tires. Sorry, it's the camera can't focus between the yellow and the black. Yeah, so you can also hopefully see. Oh, there's almost no gap there. But there's a really thick axle. I think it's like 3 millimeters based off the one I did take apart initially. So it's that thick axle and the weight that allows it to roll so well. Even though I can hear the friction. It's no ball bearings. Right now there's literally plastic on plastic rubbing, but maybe it's because I'm holding it this way. Super cool is, oh, these are the first ones I've seen without Playforever in the tires. This one literally says Sunray, so they made their own little tire brand here, and it's nice that the text is molded into the rubber. It's not like tampo printed that would flake off. And then the wheel actually has a lot of detail for something so simple looking. So it's got a chrome like hubcap, and then air passing between those spokes, which is really cool. Yeah, I really like how the tires are ballooning out like old school tires would look. I mean, they are balloons of air. And then look how tightly this plastic fits the other piece, right? The blue and yellow. There's no gaps, right? It's plastic on plastic, so you can get super tight fits, but this is really impressive even for a plastic on plastic finish. If this is a 1/64 scale car, there'd probably be a gap there. That's why that hobby kind of angers me, and I'm getting away from there. That's what I expect to see on a 1/64 scale car. But on this thing, this is crazy tight. It's almost like they glued them together and then sanded it as one. But obviously they didn't do that. They're just using really precision molds, or molding correctly, letting the part cool off enough so it doesn't get distorted later on when it comes out of the mold or rests or something. Alright, if I was really nitpicky here, you can see here there is a molding part line right there. This little line you can see, but I cannot feel that really. Or can I? Yeah, I can actually, alright, I can feel it a tiny bit, but it's under the clear coat. So the yellow here isn't painted. Only this one maybe is painted. But this blue, look at this metallic. It looks like an automotive finish, but even better than real cars, because real cars have orange peel, unless it's a really expensive car that's hand sanded. So I have a square LED above us, and look how sharp the edges are. There's no waviness and stuff you'd get in most painted toys. Yeah, this is really impressive. So they must have like buffing wheels at this factory. They paint them, and then they clear coat them really thick, and then they must buff out the orange peel, if I had to guess. Alright, well anyways, these two double stripes of yellow, I can't feel those ridges at all, so I think that's under the clear coat as well. Very neat. And then, boy, I gotta keep this getting all my fingerprints. This is a spherical mirror. You can see my reflection. You can tell what football team I enjoy. Actually, I don't watch football anymore. I live on the other side of the world. That's non-existent where I am. And I'm talking, American football. the real one, in my opinion. Sorry, everyone in Europe, but soccer, as Americans call it, is too boring. It's just too long of a game. 90 minutes, maybe 1 or 2 goals. I don't know. It's just not enough action for entertainment purposes. Alright, so again, this yellow plastic fitting with the metallic blue. Really impressive. It's not like a straight line, you know. These are compound curves, right? It's so tight. It's crazy. I love it. I love it. The precision of these parts. And yeah, the stripes. I'm just so used to touching the edge on my little 1/64 scale reviews, but this is just perfectly smooth. Yeah, crazy. All right, well, it's interesting. The head has absolutely no like detail for the eyes. Other ones I've seen, like it looks like there might be a face in a helmet, but this is literally just a chrome like ball. It's interesting how they change up their design cues from car to car. I will say, to the naked eye, it's not as vibrant blue as my camera. My camera tends to change the hue and saturation of things. It's a Galaxy A7. It's an old phone, but it works pretty well for reviews. Okay, yeah, it's funny, and I'm just looking at something so simple for so long, but it's the way they finish it. So this is just the raw yellow plastic, I assume, of this. I think it would have been cool to have, you know, some grooves to look like a grill, but I guess that would make it more detailed than it should be. This brand has they have to make interesting design choices where they add some detail like to the wheels, but nowhere else to make it look so simple. Like there's no headlights, there's no taillights, right? It's just smooth. It's a speed form almost. Okay, very neat. So this is the mini size. They have a line called the Verve, which is their smallest line, and I guess it is significantly smaller. So yeah, that's the Verve. And also here's a Verve F1 car. So although these two kind of look like they could be in the same world, right? That's around the same length, around the same width. So, but this is a Verve. So I don't know. It seems like there's two small sizes they have. And then the midi size, I mean, this is definitely just a different scale entirely, because look how tall the tires are. In fact, let me give you guys a low approach here. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if I bring these out because if you want to perhaps actually stick this next to a realistic model, boy, if I had to, you know, maybe this would be more like 1/24 scale, 1/24 scale, maybe 1/24, no, maybe 1/30th scale, and then boy, what would this be? That's huge. That would be a huge scale with tires that tall. Yeah, I don't have large realistic models. I don't have room for them. I really don't have room for these, but I just love these things. So now you'll notice, you know, like this one actually has indications of being humanoid with the goggles and then the different face. Same here, we have a white face. This one's like a slot of a black face. But this one is just so simple. It's interesting, again, how they change up their styling. Well, another great toy for sure. I always try to wonder what inspired this design. For me, I'm seeing like 1950s Jaguars. You know, maybe a D-type with that thing behind the person. Maybe a C-type with this, and D-type with the really big bulging fenders and that opening as well. But leave a comment if you think this looks like any particular cars. Yeah. Alright, so another fine toy. If you like rolling around your toys, I think these guys might be the best. They're really neat. And also, simple design. Simple, elegant designs. Okay, we'll see you the next time we get a Play Forever, and see you there.